A John Deere 841 OT tractor is shown stuck deep in the mud, with its tracks heavily submerged and unable to gain traction. A larger yellow tractor, identified as a Kirovets K7001, is brought in to assist. A heavy-duty tow cable is securely attached from the front of the John Deere to the rear hitch of the K701. As the Kirovets slowly begins to move forward, tension builds in the cable. With controlled and steady pulling, the K701 gradually drags the John Deere forward, inch by inch. Mud splashes as the tracks begin to rise from the sticky terrain. After a few attempts and continued pulling, the John Deere is finally freed from the bog. Both tractors move forward onto firmer ground, completing the recovery process. The successful rescue demonstrates the superior pulling power and stability of the Kirovets K701 in harsh field conditions. On the 12th of August 2014, in the village of Slato near Nevesinje, a Mercedes 817 truck got stuck deep in soft mud. A previous attempt to pull the truck with a VW Golf 2 failed, resulting in a burnt clutch. The situation required more drastic intervention. Two tractors, a Tomo and an MT765 arrived to assist in the rescue. The rescue began with a strong tow rope attached to the rear of the truck. The terrain was slippery and wet, making it difficult to pull the truck. At first, the Tomo and the MT765 tractors worked together after being firmly secured with tow ropes when they started to pull, but the truck still got stuck, and the tow rope slipped off the rear of the truck.
Haydi! Nie czupła się jak woda. Vamos!
This challenging determination in rural recovery situations.
Dobar video zapis. Dobro je bola.
The John Deere 7005 is stuck. It's really easy to do. The rescue operation requires a this IH operating on its base until it being able to. A heavy-duty shuttle is attached to the truck of the John Deere 7005 and connected to the trailing hitch of the fixed IH tractor. Eventually, Case IH's steady color changed mud struck the steady the Case IH still spins, guided out. Successfully recovering the stuck vehicle without causing damage to either machine. The rescue of a John Deere tractor stuck in deep mud in a rural field has been completed. The tractor was immobile, the rear wheels were completely stuck, and could not generate traction. In order to save the tractor, a McCormick tractor equipped with a tractor was brought in to perform the towing. Initially, the McCormick was placed in front of the stuck John Deere. A heavy-duty tow chain was attached between the two tractors. The McCormick then began to slowly pull forward, providing a steady torque to prevent the wheels from slipping and putting excessive pressure on the chain. Initially, because the John Deere was stuck in deep mud and due to the resistance of the mud, it was quite difficult. The tow chain even slipped off the tractor. After stabilizing and reinserting the tow chain, despite the resistance of the mud, the John Deere began to move slightly, indicating that the traction was sufficient. After several coordinated efforts and adjustments to maintain balance, the McCormick slowly accelerated. This time, the John Deere was pulled out of the deep mud. As the John Deere's wheels regained traction and began to roll forward, aided by the momentum generated by the McCormick's steady pull. When the John Deere reached firmer ground, both tractors stopped and the tracks were released. The successful recovery not only demonstrated the pulling power of the McCormick, but also the coordination and patience required to work through such mud. Throughout the process, the operators worked very carefully to avoid damage to the equipment and ensure the rescue went smoothly. The bus became stuck in the shallow waters of the Zillin River near the village of Tash-Aston after a miscalculated maneuver. A tractor was brought in to assist. Initially, attempts were made to hook the cable to the bumper, but it didn't secure properly. After several tries, the bus engine was successfully started. Once running, the tractor began to pull the bus out of the riverbed. The bus slowly moved forward, splashing through the water. Despite the strong current, the tractor steadily pulled the vehicle to dry land without further complications. We witness a dramatic, muddy rescue operation involving 3 powerful agricultural machines, a John Deere tractor, a Claas Axion tractor, and a Cat Challenger MT765. It all starts with the John Deere stuck deep in a flooded field. Its front wheels are almost invisible, swallowed by thick mud. Despite the roar of its engine, the tires spin helplessly, plowing through the plowed soil without being able to move forward. Soon after, a green Kloss Axion appears on the scene. The recovery crew rigs a heavy-duty tow rope between the Axion and the trapped John Deere. The Axion driver engages the clutch carefully, applying torque to the drawbar. The rope stiffens as tension builds. Initially, the Kloss alone manages to shift the trapped John Deere by mere inches, but soon its tires lose traction, slipping into the mire. The mud spattering ends up coating the entire lower half of the Kloss Axion. As the situation intensifies, a tracked Challenger MT765 enters from another angle. Recognized for its superior off-road grip, the Cat is expected to make a crucial difference. A chain is fastened between the Cat and the Klaas, intending to haul both forward by reversing. The Cat engages its tracks in low gear, but even its massive cleats struggle as the mud offers no purchase. The thick slurry clogs the tracks as slippage ensues. Now, both the Klaas and the Cat are teetering on the edge of immobility. Momentarily, it appears the rescue has turned into a four-machine morass. But then, a second John Deere roars into view, anchored on firmer ground outside the saturated zone. The crew quickly attaches heavy-duty tow straps in series, one strap from the rear John Deere to the front of the Cat, another to the Klaas, and ultimately to the front John Deere. The slack is taken up carefully to prevent snapping under stress. The rear John Deere driver eases into low gear to apply steady pulling force. The traction control systems of all machines engage in unison. Slowly, but surely, the chain of machines begins to move forward. The original John Deere, still submerged, grinds ahead, muddy water cascading from its wheels. The streamer of mud trails behind the collective as ground is slowly reclaimed under the wheels. After several tense seconds, the Cat Challenger's tracks gain traction. The track behemoth begins to assist by pulling its pair of towed machines forward. The Kloss Axion, benefiting from improved traction due to its proximity to the drier path created by the Cat, starts moving too. The combined forward momentum eventually frees the Klaas, which then takes over towing duties for the John Deere in front of it. Finally, after meticulous coordination, the original John Deere breaks free. It pops out of the mud with a jolt, spraying a fan-shaped volley of wet earth behind. Its tires re-engage firm soil, signaling a successful rescue. The four-machine chain reverses, and each tractor retreats carefully from the once quagmire field, leaving behind deep ruts as evidence of the ordeal. At dawn, I found myself stranded in a thick, treacherous blanket of snow. The ground beneath was slick ice, and the snow had drifted so deep that every step became a battle. My boots sank several inches with each movement, the icy layer beneath them threatening to collapse. As I slipped and staggered, my heart pounded in my ears, each breath a puff of vapor in the frigid air. I faced the daunting challenge, to free myself and return to safety. First, I assessed my surroundings. The terrain was uneven, with hidden pockets of black ice and snowdrifts up to my knees. I began by clearing snow around my feet, using nearby branches and my bare hands to reveal firmer footing. After creating a small, stable platform, I braced myself and clawed forward, step by painstaking step. The process required sheer determination. Each inch gained was a small triumph, and when I slipped backward, I paused, caught my breath, and tried again. Gradually, I edged my way toward a slight incline, my escape route. As I neared firmer ground, I felt hope rising. I crafted a makeshift path, kicking and scraping until I reached a shallow patch of exposed earth. From there, I was able to stand upright and finally extract myself from the snow's grasp. My clothes were soaked, the icy chill biting on my fingertips, but I was free. Moments later, the powerful Kirovets K7001 tractor arrived, fitted with a heavy-duty bulldozer loader. Its massive blade carved through the snow with mechanical precision. Each push displaced tons of frozen powder, forming neat windrows at the field's edge. The tractor's wide tracks gripped the icy ground firmly, preventing slippage even on the most treacherous surfaces. With a focused rhythm advance, lift, reverse, it cleared a broad swath, turning what had been impassable terrain into a usable path. The K701's engine roared steadily, hydraulics humming as the loader scooped and lifted. Its front blade, angled optimally, sliced through compacted snow, and the articulated frame allowed tight maneuvering around obstacles. Within minutes, the area was transformed. A broad, cleared corridor stretched out, and the removed snow was piled securely to the side, ensuring optimal clearance. In a muddy logging area, a heavy-duty MN timber truck becomes stuck due to the slippery terrain. Its wheels sink deep into the mud, unable to gain traction. To assist, a forestry tractor specifically built for harsh environments is brought in. Using a strong towing cable, the tractor attaches to the front of the stranded truck. The tractor then slowly pulls forward, gradually tightening the cable and generating enough force to shift the truck. As the truck's wheels begin to turn, the tractor maintains steady pressure, preventing the truck from sliding back. After sustained pulling, the truck finally emerges from the mud, regaining stability on firmer ground. The teamwork between the two machines successfully overcomes the muddy obstacle. A logging truck was stuck deep in the mud on a slippery forest road. To assist, a tractor arrived and reversed into position behind the truck. A tow strap was securely attached between the rear of both vehicles. The tractor began pulling, its tires spinning as it struggled for traction on the slick, muddy surface. Despite repeated attempts, the truck remained immobile, sunken heavily in the soft ground. The wheels of the truck were almost buried, and the resistance from the thick mud was too great. The road's extreme slipperiness further limited the tractor's ability to gain traction. Even with both vehicles working in tandem, the force was not enough to overcome the deep bog. Eventually, after several failed pulling attempts and the tractor's tires churning up the muddy road, the rescue had to be paused due to the truck's deeply embedded position and the ineffective traction conditions. On April 6, 2017, a recovery operation was carried out to upright an overturned semi-truck. A tow truck and a tractor were brought in to assist. The tow truck's winch cable was securely hooked to the chassis of the overturned vehicle, while the tractor's iron chains were tightly fastened to its rear wheels. Once everything was in position, both the tow truck and the tractor began pulling in coordination. The combined force steadily lifted and rotated the semi-truck back onto its wheels. This carefully executed operation demonstrated effective teamwork and equipment handling in recovering a heavy-duty vehicle from a rollover incident. The Fendt 936 Vario tractor finds itself stuck deep in a muddy field, with its large rear tires spinning helplessly in the soft ground. Rather than relying on external assistance, the operator attempts a self-rescue maneuver. First, he adjusts the tractor's transmission settings, optimizing torque and wheel slip through the Vario drive system. By shifting to a lower gear range and carefully modulating throttle input, the operator maximizes traction. To enhance the grip further, the driver repeatedly moves the tractor forward and backward in short, controlled bursts. This rocking motion gradually compresses and stabilizes the surrounding mud, allowing the tires to gain better contact with firmer layers beneath. Simultaneously, the tractor's front axle suspension system adapts to the changing terrain, distributing weight more effectively across all four wheels. After several attempts, the rear wheels finally begin to catch. The tractor surges forward, slowly breaking free from the mud. The operator maintains steady momentum to avoid restalling, steering the Fendt 936 Vario onto drier ground. The self-rescue is successful, demonstrating the tractor's intelligent traction control, powerful drivetrain, and the driver's skilled handling in overcoming a potentially immobilizing situation without outside help. Mayhem Light